I want to do a bunch of short videos to try to explain a fairly large, important topic. And this is going to be part bodies right here, different types of bodies down here, and how they relate to part bodies, geometrical sets. I also want to explain how to use bodies effectively with Boolean operations, and also along the way explain why certain features that you've used before, you might have wondered why when you open them up it says current solid. Why does it default to that? Why do they think that you should be doing the whole current solid? So here's how I want to start. First, I'm just going to mention over here, this is a body that is named part body, and it's a specific kind of body. It is supposed to be the last one in the tree, which we'll get to later. You take and add different bodies to this, and it does not absolutely make it an assembly. You don't add new bodies to make a sphere over here and a sphere over here and a block over here and try to assemble those together. It might look like it, but that's not typically what its use case is. Actually, I don't even want to say typically. That is not what it's used for. All right. So let's add in a couple bodies. We come down here and you can pick body. And it adds it in over here. So if you look right here, we've got bodies and we've got body in a set. More information than you probably need to know right now. This, as usual, is not a good name, body in a set. What it means is you hit this button and it will ask you to give it a name. If it was the easy button right in front under essentials, I would definitely use this more frequently, because what you should do over here is go to properties. Every time you make a new body, you should give it a name for what it is. Okay, so I'm going to call this case for right now, or base or something. I'm going to make a block, right? So now I want to talk about this over here, the underline. Do you see the underline on this? The underline denotes where you are. So if I were to make a sketch right now and pad it, it would go into this body right here. If I right click on this and I do the define in work object, so remember the way I've been saying it, if you've been watching my videos, think of this as like I would like to define the in work object, the object that is currently being worked on. Think of it that way, because if you just say it all together like define in work object, it seems like it doesn't make sense, okay? So if I were to do this, that underline is on part body. Now if I make a sketch and a pad, it will be inside here. There'll be a plus sign. You can open it up and you'll see all this stuff, right? So once you start playing with bodies and geometrical sets and you start getting these other elements in here, you need to be very conscious of where you are. It's not going to automatically shift for you all the time, and sometimes you make edits and do things and the underline moves and you accidentally can start making things in a different part body, okay? So let me get going on this so I can get this video done and I can start the next one here, just to make this short. I'm not going to worry about the directions of this thing. So I will make this is going to be a case, right? So we'll go with a centered rectangle, because a case is always square, right? I guess. I don't know. So let's leave it like that. We'll exit out and pad it up. Let me go back to essentials here. I don't like using this one because it brings out this little slider thing. I don't want it. I don't want it. I want a number. So we'll double click that and we'll make it 50. Okay, so we have this one. Now, to make things clear, I'm going to come over here to properties and I will give it a color. I will give it yellow because that's what I always do. Yellow, green, and magenta. Those are by far the faves. So case is done. Now I'm going to add in another body. And it's body 3. Name it. And so that was case, and now we'll call this one hole. How about that? Because what we're going to do is, I could have probably called it a cutter, but notice it's underlined. I'm going to pick this plane right here. Notice how when I hover over this right here, I can see it in the tree. And I will go to sketch, and I'm going to draw a circle right here, right in the center. If I can get the center. Oh my goodness. Bring this out so much. And now I am going to pad it up both directions. I'll say 100 one direction, then change this to well, don't change anything. Just come down here and say 100. I know it's not symmetrical because it's starting on the bottom, but it doesn't really matter. I just want you to see it clearly going through both sides. Now, I'll make this a different color as well. Oops, missed it. Wonderful green. So here's the thing about this. This is one body. This is a different body. They are visibly in the same area, but they are not actually touching. And this makes it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but they're in kind of like different universes, if you will. That this one here is in this body and it has its own edges. This one's in its body, has its edges, but there is no edge right here where the green meets the yellow. They're not actually connected. So this is the first part about how bodies work. I am not going to actually explain why we should use bodies until maybe a few more videos down the road. I have to show you how they work, and then it hopefully will become known why we do this. What I could do with this, let's open this one up right here like so. I can now do a thing called a Boolean operation, which I think I want to save till the next video, okay? I want to call this one done for right now. I was about ready to keep talking, but I'm going to say that this one's done, just showing you this is how we use bodies. You add in a body, maybe give it a name, give it a color, and you put different things inside of it, and you be very conscious of the underline so you know which one you're in, okay? Be back in the next one.